Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to Your Next Normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. Did you enjoy the show with Bershan Shaw yesterday? I hope you did. What an unstoppable warrior. I loved how she got really calm in some of those moments when we were just talking about life. And again, it goes to show us how we go in and out of ourselves until we reach that place of stability. I'm remembering someone that I've known for quite a number of years now, and she's a spiritual personality. And I'm just thinking of her now, and I go back to how she just stays the same tone. And I've known her for over 30 years, and she just stays the same. She doesn't get excited. She doesn't get... She's just like that. She's just always like stable and calm in the midst of a storm. And I've thought to myself, what kind of a personality, or what does someone do to cultivate that kind of stability? And I ended up finding myself turning to knowledge, spiritual wisdom. Sometimes we go through different stages in life and circumstances, relationships, financial situations. And things always keeps coming, and then they always seem to go. And I find that some of the challenges, they stay longer because I'm still holding on to them. I'm still caught up in the storm. And because I'm caught up in the storm of the change, they just stay. I wake up in the storm. I go to bed in the storm. I walk around with everyone in a storm, and the storm stays. Many, many years ago, when I used to live in Florida, there was a dreadful hurricane. It was called Hurricane Andrew. It devastated South Florida. I don't know how many of you remember that. But there was a notion where news presenters would tell you, don't go out in the calm of the storm. Don't, because you never know when it just whoops back in. And I've realized that one of the gifts in Raj Yoga meditation is that Raj Yoga meditation makes you live in the calm of whatever storm you have to go through. And the calm place of your storm is a place of spiritual intelligence, spiritual knowledge, information that is helpful at a soul level. Imagine you are married to somebody for 30 years, and then all of a sudden they wake up one day and tell you, I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. That's a storm. And in the storm, you're trying to find your peace. And what you realize what the storm is about, the storm starts to pick up all the debris. What your spouse said, what your spouse did, what they didn't do, what they should have done. Why in the world would they do that? Why did they do that? Then you go into all of that emotion, and you feed the emotion, and then you talk to your friends, and then you give them a sad story, and then you talk to other people and you give them another sad story. And it's not that you're trying to be a victim, but you're actually trying to find the empathy within your heart to be able to overcome what you're going through. But instead, the method that we use can sometimes be self-sabotaging. It can sometimes feed the chaos and the uncertainty. So, you know, when Hurricane Andrew had happened, I remembered my grandmother. She was petrified. And I didn't quite know why she was so petrified. In Miami, Florida, we had already endured maybe 20 hurricanes since we've been living there. But for some reason with this one, she was just petrified. And it was as if she just knew intuitively this was going to be a devastating experience. Maybe not for her, because she was fine, our home was fine, but for many people that she knew. And you know, you and I can't be happy if other people are suffering. I know it seems okay. I might not be in Central America, South America, or downtown DC, or in Timbuktu, or somewhere in China, or wherever there might be a person suffering right now. So I might not think it's impacting me, but it does. There are storms happening all the time, everywhere. But where do I find my calm? And as we continue to navigate our lives, you'll find that the storms just don't stop. And so where do I find that sweet spot? Where do I find that part of me inside that is always going to be okay? And it doesn't attack itself for whatever it's going through. I mean, just imagine married for 30 years and something happens and then overnight your whole life changes. What is it trying to teach me? And I can assure you that person would have gone very, very deep into a very, very private and quiet place of trying to find the answers that it needs. And that's where I feel like the calm of storms and the calm of uncertainty will be felt in your spiritual knowledge, your spiritual understanding. The teachings in Raja Yoga meditation teaches us all about karma philosophy. What goes around comes around. And sometimes I hate to hear about karma philosophy because sometimes I'm like, geez, come on, give us a break already. But yet it's all significant. And everything has happened for a significant reason. And we are all here to enjoy the game of this coming and going and ups and downs and ins and outs. And the question is, how do you stay above it all? And how do you push through even when it's not the way that you want it? Spiritual knowledge. When you no longer have any control over the way the person is going to deal with you, work with you, understand you, cooperate with you, when you can't control that situation, there's nothing that you say will shift their thinking. How do you overcome it? How do you stay calm in the midst of the storm or the uncertainty? Spiritual intelligence, spiritual knowledge, spiritual education. When somehow you are dreaming, you keep dreaming about a better version of yourself, and you put your head on your pillow and you're daydreaming. You walk from one room to another room and you're daydreaming about a heightened, more evolved version of yourself. And you're trying to see that version and image of yourself. But there are other challenges, situations, circumstances, people that are getting in your way. How do you work it out? Spiritual knowledge, spiritual education, spiritual intelligence. And your spiritual knowledge and education, it has to come from the source. Because the source is so filled with light and might and wisdom and understanding and power and space and truth and freedom, that when you decide to connect your consciousness to the divine, to God, to Baba, to Allah, to Jehovah, to the Lord and Master, then it's like you anchor into that calm in the midst of whatever karmic games are being played out around you. There are things that will happen to me and you, and don't think they're happening to you as an against you. They are gifts, and I can't begin to tell you that they are a gift for you to see you through another particular period in your life. It's actually trying to help you to begin to pull from that place inside of the soul, that part of you where Baba lives, where that light lives, where spiritual knowledge resides, spiritual intelligence resides, that spiritual light. I have been able to overcome so many challenges and situations because of spiritual knowledge. I don't know what I would do without it. Somehow something could be happening for me, not to me, for me. And I go deeper inside of the consciousness of the soul and I turn to God and I go, what is this trying to show me? Show me. I mean, do I always need to go through these situations in order to learn? And time again, spiritual knowledge will take me into a calm place and it will show me exactly the solution that I'm looking for. I think all the challenges that we go through, all the difficulties, all the obstacles, all the opportunities that we go through in life, it's simply to return us to love. I think that if we accept that whatever it is that I have to go through, I am being returned to love, to truth, to freedom, to beauty, to power, to light, to happiness. That once I recognize that my difficulties and challenges and circumstances are gifts, then of course spiritual intelligence and spiritual knowledge will say, there's more love for you to feel. There's more love here for you. There is more love here to return. That's what I think, finding the calm in the midst of the storm, and especially with the uncertainty. What's uncertainty? Nobody knows what the next second is going to hold. In the teachings of Raj Yoga meditation, there's a saying that Baba always says, anything can happen all of a sudden. I had an experience this week, all of a sudden. I go, where did that come from? All of a sudden. And it was a big one. And I could feel like it was like taking out, it was trying to uproot your foundation. That's how much it was all of a sudden, sort of a test and challenge and opportunity. It was all of a sudden. And you know what I had to do? I had to find my way through it, and I'm still finding my way through it. I can see how sometimes I might go down the path of just, the frustration and the disappointment about it all. And then spiritual intelligence brings me back into my calm and says, look, there's benefit in every scene that will ever happen with you and for you. Souls are going to be uplifted, and there'll be a blessing, there'll be something auspicious, there'll be something beautiful. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to the ones who are judging. Don't listen to the ones who aren't you and who aren't living your reality. Listen to God. Listen to your heart. Listen to the purpose that is within you. Listen to the light that you really are, and let that continue to unfold for you. So that's my message for today on Our Next Normal. I am so psyched and excited about our new studios. Let me know that you still love it and that your thumbs up is there. It's so nice. I have my 3 daddies with me, and I've got these beautiful setting books that are on the table. And again, I get inspired when I see something good or something beautiful. I just don't feed and take from it, but I go, oh my gosh, that would be so beautiful to be able to transform the next normal into this kind of a invitation. Do you feel like you're invited into a nice space, and we're just having like a heart-to-heart together, and just this moment in time to reconnect and be with each other? I know the community is so vibrant and everyone loves each other here. So even through the comments, when you can see all the heart emojis, the thumbs up, the smiling faces, I just want everyone to know how much we really value you. And as we navigate during these changes and stuff, I just want you to know that we continue to try to refine everything. And if there's a particular topic or a question that you might have, something that's of interest, can you send it to us so that I'll be happy to address it and be of support with you in whatever way possible? I want to be able to be there for you for that. All right. So don't forget, tomorrow is a Positive Friday by our wonderful brother David, and I'm telling you that's going to be great. That comes from our positive thinking course that we do at the Brahma Kumari centers globally, and you will always step away with a method or a technique in how to raise your vibrations and think differently, similarly to what you're getting even here Monday through Friday. Keep yourselves well and in check, and stay in your calm place. Use your spiritual knowledge as your anchor and value your connections with people. We know by now, if you've been with us for the year, that soul consciousness, God consciousness, being responsible for our karmas, unfolding in our lives is all a part of the journey. And I know those emotions have a way of sneaking in, which is coming from the depths of our attachments. But you know what? At some point in time, the soul automatically goes back to return to love. Let me return to love. That spiritual knowledge, that spiritual intelligence, that spiritual sense of knowing will help us to get back there. So thank you for joining us on another episode of Next Normal. Hopefully, as we evolve from this particular place of our pandemic, the next normal will be filled with so much spiritual love and light and wonder and beauty and grandness. That's really what we really want out of life, isn't it? All right. Take care. So from all of us here in our studios, every one of us, lots of love, lots of pure feelings, lots of good wishes. See you again soon. Om Shanti.